Well, I think today's the 28th of September. What you see here is it's a little berry containers like you get blueberries in, blueberries or raspberries. And I decided I had three separate clutches of box turtle eggs, right? So I decided it's about time. I take a look and look, lo and behold, look what we got. Look what we got. Oop, look at that little guy, right? There's the shell. Let's see. Well, let me put my car keys in here just to hold it down, and we'll take care of that. There's the empty shell. See, it's not like a bird shell at all. The eggshell of a bird, it's the best way to describe it is leathery. So, probably should take a look at these eggs with a oh, see the remainder of the egg yolk. That's the remainder of the egg yolk there. So it's best that he stays in there for a little while. Ooh, I could tell. Let's see. Oh, look, the other one I think is coming out too. He's about to hatch. So we'll keep those in the incubator until they're done. And let's see what we got going here. Oh, come on. Look at the variation. It's between two mothers, It's the variation. Empty shell again. Ooh. Empty shell. Ugh. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed. It's not helping things. Empty shell. So what do we have here? A total of what, 3? Aren't they cute? Yeah, they're really cute. Now, what can I say that's different from the last video I made on these guys? All right, so this is what I'm doing with them next. You got to keep this stuff damp. It's got to be damp, and you can see it's damp. Next course of action for me is just closing them up like this, and they actually go into the crisper section on the bottom of the, my wife hates it, the crisper section, the little bin in the bottom of the refrigerator. And I make sure that I check it often enough because the refrigerator will dry them out. It will dry out the sphagnum moss. That's what that is. It's sphagnum moss in there. I found the sphagnum moss for me works real well. It doesn't get moldy. It holds the moisture. So what I'll do is I'll put these in. I'll close them up and put them in a crisper of the refrigerator till April. So it's almost October. It's cool. It's cooled out dramatically. This morning was 44 degrees Fahrenheit out. They couldn't dig out of the ground anyway. So I know it's hard for people to believe, but these little guys will stay in the ground over winter, even if it's like 10 below out. Box turtles, at least with 3 toes, and I think Easterns too, because Easterns can be further north. There's Easterns in Michigan. They produce an antifreeze in their blood, so they can overwinter in the ground. And these little guys will overwinter in the ground. So what happens is you saw that little egg yolk thing on that other one. That thing will be absorbed inside inside the baby's body before freezing temperatures permeate the ground. So it won't get damaged. It'll be absorbed in. And let's see if we can find if these guys got going on here. So they got an antifreeze. These guys hatched a little sooner, see? Gets absorbed in the bottom of the shell there. And it closes up like an umbilical cord, so to speak. So they have antifreeze in their blood, and they'll overwinter in the nest. And they'll be anywhere from 4 to 6 inches underground in a hole that'll be about this big, basically. The hole will be about that big, and they're all bunched in there, and they don't have much room to move. So I just try to simulate what happens in nature. So I'll put them in the refrigerator till spring, till April. Then I'll bring them out, and I'll put them in a small planter, and keep it outside with a little tiny shallow bowl for water, and then I'll raise them up till they're a proper size. And then at this point, I got so many of them, they got to go back in the wild. I can't keep that many of them, so I'll put them into the wild. Now, I know some people may think that's terrible to do, but in a way, it's kind of conservation in its own way. But what I have to do is I have to put them in their native range. So where I'm at, the box, they've been extrapolated out of the area because of roads. But, before development, there were ornate box turtles here where I live. That's what used to live here before they destroyed the environment and tilled everything under. Reptiles and amphibians don't live well around development, particularly roads and agriculture. They don't deal with the ground being disturbed, and they don't deal with pesticides well. So people who live around woodlands, limited agriculture, or depending on what kind of agriculture. I'll give you an example. Like if you go into Michigan, there's a lot of blueberry farms, a lot of apple orchards, and these guys can survive in that environment because the ground's not being destroyed. But any place where the ground is being destroyed, I mean, think about it. You lay eggs in the ground, and then you get the ground tilled twice a year, either in the fall or in the spring, and your reproductive efforts get destroyed. So, and your adults get run over by cars, tractors, farming implements, whatever. So if you live in a part of the country that has box turtles and you see them coming across the road, I have a friend in Oklahoma who sees them. That's fantastic. Good for you. But the United States has got several different types and subspecies of box turtles, all in different regions. So, anyway, but these are what's called three toes, and which means I have to make a trip to some place where I know where there's three toes. If that makes any sense. But at this point of the game, there won't be a big deal next year. So, okay. And there's one quick look. There's your little nature note for the day. Look at the egg tooth. Can you see it? On the end of the beak. I think I'm doing this one-handed, so it's kind of hard to see. But a little white pointy thing is an egg tooth, and that's how the turtle rips out of the egg. Birds have it too, but the birds use it to peck their way out. Turtles tear their way out. Or I should say reptiles do. Even a snake will tear its way out with that egg tooth instead of pecking, because the shell is leathery and you can rip it. So, okay. I hope that was informative for the day. Till next time.